Okay. Let's get set up here. Welcome everybody to the live stream. Happy Friday. Gotta remember, every time I take this apart, I have to press the button to release it. Because I just, I don't do that. And I also have to press it when I'm putting it together. I haven't done that. But I'm doing it now. I'm doing it now. I'm doing it now. Welcome to the live stream, man. How you doing? Sophie, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Okay, there we go. That's better. Much, much better because I can see the reverb. Okay, now we'll get set up on here. I think I can see it. Or wait, kind of want to fade it away now. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Um, test. Wait, testing. What the heck is going on here? Why is this even here? There we go. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, guys, but we fixed it. Let's get YouTube up on the screen here. Welcome everybody to the live stream. How's everybody doing? We got a great live stream today. Welcome in everybody. How y'all doing, man? Happy Friday. We got a nice, really cool live stream today. Hey, how is everybody doing? Where's everybody from? Drop where you're from in the chat. So we can see where everybody's from all around the world, That should be better. Korea, wow. Happy Friday to you too, man. We got somebody in Korea. Yeah, I know. I know you haven't seen Luna for a while. She'll be back, just very soon. Whoa, look at these two. Oh my god, you guys. What? This little tiny bird is like chasing a crow. And the little bird flew up on the tree, and then the crow just sat there, and then when the crow flew, the bird chased him and like was pecking him. United States. Happy Friday to you. You'll see Luna soon, man. You'll see her soon. Just she's gonna come back better than ever, man. So just stay tuned. There's a lot to come, man. We have a lot of footage. I've been trying to find an editor and someone to work on the clothing line and all this kind of stuff. And there's a lot, hopefully, in the second quarter of this year, which is we're starting in April. That I'm going to be able to edit a lot of the content, and we have so much footage, man. We have to like go through and edit and put video content out, and well, pretty much everything, man. But along the lines of, you know, the truth, I guess you could say, empowerment, crazy vlogs. I mean, we do light language, we do all kinds of stuff, man. There's not really a category, so to speak, but if you want to categorize it, it's like spirituality to an extent. Um, but yeah, empowerment, man. Just having fun as well and finding what lights you up. And, if that's me doing a podcast or a vlog or whatever it is, or me and Luna doing a channeled live stream together, whatever it is, man. Luna's danced on the live stream. She's cooked on the live stream. We do a mixture of everything, man. It's not really, I know that's not the way YouTube likes it, because they like you to specifically have a genre, specific genre that you do. That's why a lot of people do multiple YouTube channels. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't really fall into a category, or Luna. We're not really like that, man. It's like, I think we're creating a new pathway on YouTube, so to speak. United States, man. Where are you from? I know a lot of people are going to be finishing up Ramadan too. Romania, wow, welcome, man. These are places me and Luna definitely want to visit, man. Romania and Korea, man, all over the place. India, Spain. I've been to Spain, but just many places, man. We're gonna take the tour around the world, man. So stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. We're just gonna keep going. Yeah, sure. Australia, another place. Yes, definitely, 1,000%. Australia is another one. Hell yeah. And everybody tap the like button, man. If you're vibing with it, of course. If you're not, I don't want you to tap the like button if you aren't vibing with the channel. But listen, man, at the end of the day, man, the one biggest and important keynote to everything that I teach and I do, it's doing it with love. And it's interesting that I think, like, well, we've been programmed and conditioned not to experience what true love is really like. And I don't mean true love like only in a romantic dynamic. I mean, loving your neighbor, loving one another. Why does it take something tragic or catastrophic, whether it be to a group of people or just somebody individually, to then find compassion for others, to find love for one another? It's just like, and the fact that we are not living alone on this planet. And that's the title of the live stream. We're not here alone, and we never have been. The fact of the matter is there has been higher dimensional beings, what you would call aliens or extraterrestrials, that have been controlling humanity and the planet for thousands of years, which have kept us in a low frequency and low vibration, so we can't see them. So we don't know that they exist, that we think we're the only ones here, when in fact we're not. But we've been kept in a low frequency and low vibration, which is fear, so that we can't see them, because they vibrate at a higher frequency and a higher vibration, which requires us to raise our frequency and raise our vibration. Nah, man, I'm not going to repeat anything, because I don't know the language, and I don't want to repeat something that is not nice to others. And maybe somebody that I trust you, but at the same time, there's a lot of trolls that come in here, and I'm not going to speak something that I don't know what it means, and then I offend somebody else that watches the live stream. That's not what I'm here to do. So I definitely am not repeating. Yeah, well, I've heard that before by many people that come in here, my friend. Nah, you ain't tricking me, man. Yeah, I can't do that right now while I'm on YouTube live streaming with you guys. If I leave, if I leave the window, then the live stream goes off. Namaste to you, brother. I believe you, man, but you know, I still believe me, man. There's a lot of people that come in here and say things like that. So, yeah. Well, yeah, that too. That too. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Frank. And John, namaste to you, brother. So yeah, man. So here's what I'm trying to say, that we're not alone. We've never been alone here on this planet. We never have been. Um, Probably never will be. But we're getting closer and closer to the point where we will be able to see other life forms. As I said, the fact of the matter is that the frequency and vibration that we've been at, that we've been vibrating at, has been very low in the vibration and frequency of fear, which you cannot see them. Just like you will have challenging and difficult times communicating with your past loved ones or a pet, because they're at a higher frequency. So now, again, I'm not going to say everybody, that goes for everybody, but it is a collective thing, not only an individual thing. So yes, while there is people walking around and they can communicate and I can communicate, and if you do know how to drop into your heart and raise your frequency, then you have the ability to, in fact, communicate. But it's not something that is 24/7 all the time, because it's collective, and where the collective is at, everyone will be at. So again, you know, the more and more of us that share love, send love out, you know, because at the end of the day, it's what you give, you get back. So if you are an angry individual and you don't like anyone and you just give a lot, perpetuate a lot of hate and anger and all of those things, you're going to receive that same thing back. All is one, one is all. Exactly, man. We're all one and we're all connected. Exactly. And you are me and I am you. Again, that also is very, there's a very fine line with that as well, because there's some people that have chosen not to, you know, work on the things, and they have free will. So they can choose to act or be however they want, you know, to a certain extent, until they surpass a certain point, and then God has to step in, or our higher dimensional beings, or galactic family, or the Galactic Federation watching the planet, you know, the Alliance. You know, there's points where they have to step in, dependent on, well, what occurs and how people use their free will. Free will is very tricky, and choice. It's it's a very fine line, free will. And listen, I'm going to say this. I have to pick a day. I know I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. I'm going to do a Q&A weekly where you guys can ask me anything you want, as long as it's obviously respectful. Questions about, you know, anything, vibration, about dimensions, about astral travel, about God, about your faith, about, you know, what happened 10,000 years ago, how we got to the place we are currently. Whatever you want to ask, man. If you want to talk about fasting, if you want to talk about healthy eating, whatever it is, man. I want to do a weekly Q&A that I'm going to post, create a thumbnail and post. And we're going to, I don't know what day yet. Maybe it'll be Friday. I don't know. I really want to make sure it's a day that I stick to it, and it's a certain time that's good for everyone. Maybe I'll do a poll on the community post and see what you guys think, what times are the best for the majority. And I would really like to do a Q&A so you guys can get questions and answers of whatever's on your mind, man. if it's even communicating with a loved one on the other side, I can see if they'll communicate with me and channel them as well. So we can do things like that, so I think that is what I'm being guided to do once a week. And then the other week will be a specific topic that we talk about. Um, so those are the two things right now that I'm working on, aside from the Awakening podcast. I'm just being led and guided right now. It's kind of up in the air. It might just end up being me, and then we'll just bring people on and stuff like that as it evolves. The collective consciousness is at a very low frequency right now. Yes and no. Yes and no, John. Yeah, while there's a big majority that are focused on all the wars and the things and the famine and poverty and all of it, there's still the percentage that is at a higher vibration is actually keeping it. A while back we hit I forgot the word. What's the word? Spirit. We hit they're not really showing me. We hit I forgot the word. Hey Rick, what's good, man? Welcome to the live stream. Happy Friday, man. See, here's the thing, man. If humanity drops their frequency, we're still not dropping it to the point where we were at before. So basically what they showed me is when we raise our frequency collectively, we raise it and we move a few steps forward, right? Mass something. It's called mass something. I'll get it. It'll come through. But what happens is we raise our frequency collectively, and then we move a little bit forward. But in that moving forward, we don't fully move back to where we were. We just may go back a little bit, but not all the way back, right? So let's say we were here. Let's say we were here, right? And then we raise our frequency and we move here, okay? And then humanity slides back a little bit, and it's not really sliding back. I don't want to use that term either, but let's say you move back a little bit, a couple steps, but you're still not right here, okay? Then you raise your frequency again. Now you're here. And then it lowers a little bit, but you're still not going all the way back here. You've now moved up to here. And now here is the starting point. So then that's what keeps happening, but you never fully go back to where humanity originally started, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Yes, you will, man. No, see, that's the one thing you don't want to do. You don't want to give your power away to Yeshua or Mary Magdalene or any one that came here to do what they came here to do, man. God did not want you to ever do that. You can be like, wow, they did an amazing job, but I can do it better. We can all do it better. That's how we end up giving our power away and weakening lowering our frequency by idolizing Yeshua or idolizing celebrities or idolizing someone outside of yourself versus giving yourself that power. No, definitely not, man. I'm not saying he's a celebrity, man. I'm talking about in generalized, man, like what people tend to do. They tend to give their their power away to something externally. That's not what God, we're all God in some way, shape, or form. We're aspects of God, just like Yeshua was, the Son of God. We're all aspects of God, every single one of us. You're a powerful being, man. And God wants you to realize that. Yeshua came here to do what Yeshua came here to do. But he never meant to be idolized or put on a pedestal in some way, shape, or form. He did an amazing job. He did what he came here to do. He opened humanity's hearts. That was his purpose. Because God was not going to come down, and in my opinion, okay, and this is my opinion, okay, you could take it what resonates and leave what doesn't. But to say something's fake because it doesn't resonate with you, I don't agree with that. So thank you. I appreciate you praying for me, man. I'll pray for you too. The fact of the matter is, God was not going to come down in human form, okay? So he sent Yeshua as him in human form. Obviously not the full God aspect, okay? But more powerful than we have been. Why? Because he didn't forget anything. Why? He didn't come down here and forget anything. He remembered his past lives. He remembered the powers that he had. He remembered what he came here to do, which is very different from us, from the collective at this point. Okay? But if he came down in human form, people wouldn't believe it if he said he was God. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that knowing the future or knowing aspects of it or what it could potentially turn out to be is a positive thing in some ways. Some people, they take it in the wrong way, and it causes them to lose hope because they feel like it's never going to happen. But for me, I've seen what the future looks like for humanity, and yes, I've been on this planet for 47 years. Yes, I've went through a lot of suffering. Okay. And at the same time, I have seen since I was a little kid, when I woke up at 7 years old, what humanity can look like if they spread love and unity and oneness and kindness and compassion, and they treat each other as equal and not separate and divided. The world can be a completely different place if we all come together as one, and I do believe that will happen. So why do you think, Southern, that you can't do it? Because when you say that, you're giving your power away. Why do you not think you're powerful enough? Because you are. We all are. Yeah, but here's the thing though, Odin, like things are going to change, like physical things on the planet as we change. So there's land that is hidden under the oceans, and there's land under the waters, and all of the things that are happening all divinely timed and orchestrated. Don't forget, we're co-creating with God. So the fact of the matter is things are going to disappear, like states and countries and worlds and places. Other places are going to form. This is a part of the process. Nothing is ever going to stay the same. It's all like change is inevitable. And the problem that humanity has is they've conditioned and programmed us to believe that, we attach to this state, this country, this language, this orientation of money, this way of exchange, and then when it changes, our ego loses it. But change is inevitable, man. We have to get used to the fact that things are not going to look the same. Things are going to be completely different. I mean, people lose it when their friend has an awakening and they don't want to tell their friend that they had an awakening or a dark night of the soul or whatever, and their whole world turns upside down and they're now a completely different person. They don't like sports anymore. They don't like the same foods. They don't like to do this and do that they used to. And then the people that they used to hang around with lose it because they're not the same person anymore. We're changing every second, every minute, but right now it's more accelerated than ever before. Well, here's the thing. There's only one God, but you came from God. I came from God. The bugs, the earth, everything came from God. So what would that make you? If you came from God, just like we would say, well, you came from your mother and your father who are Irish or I don't know, Spanish or whatever the background is. So what does that make you? Oh, well then you're Irish and Spanish, or you came from African American parents and so you're African American, right? Well, you came from God, I came from God, we all came from God. So we're all aspects of God, right? So we're just that powerful. Again, it goes so deep, guys, so deep, man. There is beings out there that are controlling this place, man, that have been controlling us for thousands of years, man, controlling us like puppets. That we go to a job, we go to work, we do this, it's like you don't think for yourself, man. There is so many things happening that is under the radar that's starting to begin to come out, but they're a part of God too. I mean, really, everything is, right? So it's like, it's such a paradigm, and this is like a big, big, deep rabbit hole, man. And yes, I want to go deeper into this, not today, of course, because it's not really the topic of the live stream. But if you subscribe to the channel, I have an awakening podcast I'm going to be starting. And also, I'm going to be doing a Q&A once a week. We can go deeper into all of these topics. Again, yeah, they have separated from God, exactly, 100%, but they're still an aspect of God, right? They still are. They just chose to separate themselves. Does that mean that eventually they won't go back? Yes, they will. Eventually they will return home. We're all walking each other home, whether you're dark, whether you're in the light, whether you're, it's like God doesn't see anyone, whether you've done horrific things or done positive things. He doesn't see you any different. And that's how I feel we should see everyone. Just like Jesus did. Everybody preaches about Yeshua, but Yeshua was able to see everyone from the pain they were in, not the act they committed. He saw everything from a lens of love. Yeah, I speak from like a God's standpoint. God's standpoint is there's no wrong in his eyes. The only judgment, and I know a lot of religions, and I'm not into religion, I'm spiritual, but a lot of religions talk a lot about, judgment day. The only judgment day that you're going to have is the judgment that you put on yourself when you watch your life review. That's it. God will not judge you. Your guides, your masters that helped you to plan for this lifetime, you're just going to do it over again. Until you feel like you've done it exactly how you wanted to do it. Because at the end of the day, what happens is when you leave this body, you are going to have a life review. And you're going to review your entire life from every aspect of it, from every seat, from every POV, okay? From the other person's point of view, from your point of view, in every situation. It takes years to go through a life review if you look at it from human time, because in the spiritual realm there is no time. So you're going to look at your whole entire life, and you're going to go through that entire life in every aspect of it with your guides and with your angels, and you're going to review it, and you're going to be like, well, I could do that better next time. I could go back, and I know I could do it differently. And that's what makes the choice of a soul to keep coming back and reincarnating. And a lot of humans will say, I don't agree. I am not coming back here again. I'm done after this life and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's the ego as far as I'm concerned. That's not the soul. Once the soul watches the life review, if there's anything in that life review that you feel your soul felt it could do it better, it will come back. It will choose to come back. So whether it be here or somewhere else, because there's gazillions of planets out there and galaxies and so on and so forth. Why don't you support death, Southern? Because at the end of the day, man, we don't ever die, though. There's no death. Energy doesn't die, man. So this experience is temporary. But again, temporary could have been hundreds of years, which is going to go back to as we win this war of dark and light, which we've already won. It's just got to play out in the 3D. It's got to play out in the physical in front of us. And I'm not talking about the war in Iran and all this stuff. I'm talking about between light and dark, the spiritual war that's been going on for thousands of years. Well, we've already won the light. The light has already won. Okay? And the fact of the matter is yes, a lot of things have been suppressed, just like on these platforms, and our voices and speaking out, and all of it has been suppressed. Okay? And the fact of the matter is that we can, in fact, live for hundreds of years. You can live as long as you want to live. Right now, it hasn't been that way because, again, it's been suppressed. The technologies, the higher technologies from the galactics, which is higher dimensional things like med beds and healing wands and replicators and all these different things, right? The planet has been hijacked, let's say, okay? Hijacked, and to keep you sick and in this perpetual cycle, right? So you end up creating situations when you go to have your life review, you're going to come back because of the fact that, now when we move higher into the fourth and fifth dimension, it's going to be worlds of difference. Don't think that you're still not going to have worldly problems. You're just going to be at a higher level of consciousness. You're going to be more aware. You're going to be present and aware to the things that you're doing and the way you're moving in the world, which a lot of people aren't. They're unconscious to what they do and how they do it. And a lot of it is not in alignment with their soul. Hence why a lot of people are sick and with disease and all this other stuff, because they're unconscious to the things they're doing and the words they're speaking and the fact that we're creating our reality. You are creating a reality. I'm creating my reality. We're co-creating with God, our reality. Again, we've been conditioned and programmed to keep our frequency low and our vibration low, so we're in fear as a collective. But that's changing because this great awakening cannot be stopped, and people are waking up every day by the thousands, and they're realizing that something is wrong here. That something has been wrong for a very long time, but it's almost like what I was told years ago. People are lifting their head out of the sand and they're like looking around like they just came out of a movie theater watching a movie, and they have to like wipe their eyes and look around because they're like, oh my God, everything looks like what? Like, no, this does not seem right. This does not look right. Like, are these actors? Like, this is what has been going on. I respect your opinion, and I'm definitely not in fear, and I appreciate repeat. I appreciate you, Revel, and you can have your opinion. It's okay. It's all good, man. Um, well, you know, listen, at the end of the day, man, I respect everybody's beliefs and opinion, and I'm still going to um, allow God to use my vessel for good. And whatever needs to come through will come through for whoever needs it in that moment. And I'm here to spread love and compassion and kindness, and because I know that that is how we change the world, and I know that is how we're gonna live in a better world. And let me tell you something, man. I was thinking about the other day, and to walk around spreading anger and hatred and all those different things is, to me, is so much more challenging and so much more heavy than to be kind and have compassion for one another. And it takes so much more energy to hate one another and to gaslight someone and to be unkind and not nice. And um, I can just tell you that it's easier and more lighter to be kind, and I know that as we move forward and as everyone continues to raise their frequency and vibration, because regardless of whether or not you think we're, you know, at that point or we're not at that point or things are going to hell in a handbasket, it's not true, because there's enough of us that are raising our frequency and that are spreading love and that are it's happening naturally through the energies, through the light, through the planet anchoring itself in a certain dimension, the fifth dimension and higher. So it cannot be stopped. So the ones that continue to spread hate and anger and all of it will eventually be forced either to raise theirs, whether it be unconscious or conscious, and either will choose to transition and leave, or will choose to raise their frequency and be kind of shocked into it through like a tower moment, what you would call like a tower moment. You know, um, it's so much nicer and easier to be kind to someone than hateful. And I understand that a lot of people aren't doing the inner work to, heal those triggers and those things that really ruffle your feathers or really bother you. Um, so one day you will see a completely different world, and it will be very soon. It is happening so fast. And things are going to be split off because timelines are shifting, and we're going to be going through a bifurcation of timelines. I got to be very mindful because a lot of people aren't prepared for a lot of this. So that's why I go live. I'm guided to go live at certain times, and I'm guided to go live and give certain information so that you can process. And it's kind of like planting seeds, and little by little, your consciousness is going to expand, and you are going to just believe that anything is possible, even this entire planet transforming into love. And you know there's just a big percentage and a large percentage that are still listening to the programming and the mainstream, and you know, these people perpetuating fear through their thumbnails and kind of like clickbaiting you into watching their stuff, you know, out of fear, because humanity is still attracted to fear and negativity. Point blank, period. Majority of us grew up that way. And fear, and they're addicted to it. They're addicted to fear. They're addicted to, you know, negativity, people fighting, anything related to sexuality or food or anything of that nature. People are addicted to it. Well, that's okay. It's okay. The love part is Vigos is about coming together as one, regardless. Seeing every single one of us with compassion. Why does it? I said this before in the beginning of the live. Why does it take something catastrophic individually for yourself or for somebody else, or you to potentially be having and getting to the point of near death to have compassion for somebody else? You know, there's something wrong about that we just can't have compassion, knowing that we're all the same and we're all one and we're all connected, man. I understand that people have free will. I understand that. I understand that people have hurt you. But a lot of people allow that to bleed into their everyday life, and then they haven't healed from what somebody did to that, what somebody did for them, because it's always for you and by you. It's never to you. Now, hear me when I say that. It's for you and by you so that you could keep expanding, that you can keep raising your consciousness, that you can keep evolving. That's what you came here to do. We all did. And if these situations didn't happen for us, then you would just stay comfortable and complacent, doing the same old shit all the time. Never challenging yourself, never stepping out of your comfort zone. And these situations that happen for us, that were pre-planned, cause and force you to step out of your comfort zone, to decide, well, I don't want that shit anymore. I'm not putting up with that. You know, that's what forces us to be like, we're not going to allow the government to do the things that the government has been doing because of the things that are occurring. We're not going to allow the things that are happening, like the Epstein stuff. We're not going to allow the things at these different locations that the government has been testing on and doing all kinds of things to the foods and everything else, because if it wasn't in our face to actually affect us personally, what would you do? You'd probably say, screw it, I don't care. And a lot of people still probably do that. A lot of people still probably say they don't care and they don't give a crap. You know, but deep down their soul does. And your soul is continuing to get louder and louder and louder, because your soul is moving towards being in alignment with the truth of who you are. Not doing things because you're just doing it. Not doing it because it's robotic. Not doing it because you're people pleasing somebody else. But doing it because you truly want to do it. You know, doing something for someone else because you want to, and you have no expectations of something in return. You know, that is the way we're moving, in the direction that we're headed in. You know, and I really truly hope that, you know, some way, shape, or form, I can make an impact on this planet. And, you know, in my hopes that people start realizing, you know, that we're gonna move quicker out of the things that we're in if we all unite, if we all come together as one, if we all realize that, man, you know, I was being mean to this person, but this person is actually a really good soul, you know, and it was because of my own things that I didn't heal. that I treated them in that way. I mean, listen, man. As I said it before, and the love vibration is so much more like amazing, and it feels good because that's what God is. Essentially, God is love. God is love, and it doesn't feel good to be angry to somebody, because most of the time when somebody's angry or hateful or hurtful to somebody else, they once they have time to actually reflect on it, they begin to realize that, man, maybe I could have acted a little bit differently. Maybe I could have, you know, they begin to go through the different phases of, realizing how they could have handled things differently. And sometimes it may be too late, but it's never too late, because you don't need to tell somebody to their face that you forgive them and you forgive yourself. Because more importantly, it's about forgiving yourself. Because when you find yourself in a situation that happened for you, again, it's always for you to elevate you. You could have maybe chose differently, in a quicker period of time, so you didn't have to suffer as long, right? So that's where you would forgive yourself. Well, I forgive myself for allowing this to happen. I forgive myself for allowing the government to do the things the government is doing and has been doing, right? And the more people that can forgive themselves instead of pointing the finger and saying, well, they're doing this and they're horrible and they're horrific. Well, more importantly, it's about forgiving yourself first. And then saying, you know what? I forgive you, man. Because to hold on to this anger and, just like they're a horrible person and they're this and they're that, man, you could send them love. You could ask your angels and guides to touch their heart. There's things you can do when you think that you can't do anything. There's plenty of things you can do that you can ask for help that we have been conditioned and programmed not to do because it's weak, or you're gay if you do that, or blah, 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 whatever. Like whatever the generations come up with and come out with. The fact of the matter is there's plenty of things you can do to help somebody to change that doesn't even realize what they're doing. That they're doing something from an unconscious state. No, but here's the thing, man. But see, where is that doing you any good by not doing that, right? And I get it. That's going to be very hard for a lot of people to take in. And listen, man, I think you did a lot of horrific things too. I don't disagree with you. But you could find it in your heart to find compassion for everyone, knowing that everyone is always trying to figure things out. And I know that's going to be a very hard thing to conceptualize. I know it. Trust me. And I don't expect anybody to do that right away or at any point, but you can ask God to help them find their way. You could send them love. It makes a difference, man. And remember, if you could actually find a way to do that, man, the universe is going to bless you 1,000,000 times over, man. Not that you should be expecting something in return, but the universe will bless you 1,000,000 times over. No, man, nobody is judged, man. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Love even thy enemies. Exactly, man. That's what I'm saying. Love even the one that have done horrific things. Does that mean you're going to go up to the person? You're going to like give them a big hug and a kiss and tell them, you know what I mean? No, you're just going to love everyone for where they're at, no matter what they did. Are you going to go up to them? Are you going to even ever have the chance to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, but like, can you find a way to love every single person no matter what? Because the more that we do that, the more we're going to change this planet faster. But the more people that hold grudges and are angry at whatever occurred, the more we're going to be stuck where we are. If you can continue, because listen, man, the more you do that, the more you're holding, you're keeping your heart closed. No, no one's rejecting Christ, man. I don't know where. Okay, what is the question, Poppy? And I'm gonna end with the live stream there. I'll answer your question, and then I have to head out. Um, I'm happy where the live stream went. I'm glad that we ended up getting an hour in. And yeah, what is your question, Poppy? What are you struggling to approach? What situation? Of course, man. I mean, and I'm saying that too. Like, the thing that we don't do, and we're programmed and conditioned not to do, is ask God for help. What's wrong with asking God for financial help? What's wrong with asking God to help you with having a roof over your head? What's wrong with God? That doesn't mean you're weak. That doesn't mean that you're in lack. That doesn't mean any of that. But actually asking God and then having faith that He's going to deliver. But the problem that most people do and have is they pray and they ask for something, but then they're impatient in waiting for it to be delivered. When it's on God's time, it's on divine timing. It's not on your time. It's not on human time. God doesn't have any time. But here's the disconnection as to why people turn their backs on God, is because they ask and they pray and they ask and they pray and they ask and they pray, but then they don't leave it and surrender to it and say, okay, I surrender to this. I'm going to trust and have faith that God is going to take care of it, that God is going to help me, that God is going to guide me and lead me every single step of the way. That's the disconnection that we have. And then people turn their backs on God because they say, well, I asked and I prayed and it didn't happen. But did you wait? Because it could take 2-3 years before it happens. It could take 5 minutes. It could take 10, 20 years. It's on God's time, not your time. When you walk that path of allowing God to lead you and guide you, man, it's not easy. It's not an easy path. You really have to lean into surrendering it all and trusting the unknown. And trusting, if you're down to your last penny, how are you going to get food on your table? But trusting that it will happen. And even if you go a day or two without it, believing that it's still going to happen, having that faith no matter what. Because that's the thing. If somebody immediately doesn't have the money for their rent and they ask God for help and they prayed again and they asked God for help and then it didn't turn out in the way that they thought it would, but they don't even give it a chance to unfold and allow God to work its magic, with already being like, well, no, you didn't do what you said you were going to do. I don't trust you anymore, blah, blah, blah. And they lose their faith because they went 2 days without food. But then after the 2 days, what if God delivered it if you trusted? You know, maybe that was what you were supposed to go through. Maybe that is what you were supposed to experience to then receive it all. But you didn't even give it a chance before you lost your faith and your trust in the Creator, who you're co-creating with. I know anger is a stage of grief, and it might be amplified by it, but I'm so angry that she would even ask for a joint funeral for someone who passed 2 years ago. Huh. Well, why don't you ask Spirit or ask God to take that anger from you, and to for you to be able to see this in a higher, from a higher standpoint, a higher viewpoint, a higher vantage point. What if you saw it as she is not awake and aware, and she's not conscious, and maybe she's in fear? Because usually when that happens, someone's in fear, and they're and what when you're in, so what typically will happen is when someone gets a diagnosis, or someone doesn't have enough money to pay their bills, or something to that effect, what usually typically will happen is they go into fear, and then they're like scrambling last minute to try to, you know, maybe if she had her bank account was full. I don't know the situation, I'm just, this is intuitively what I'm getting. Then she wouldn't even have asked you. But typically what will happen is someone will do that when they're in fear in some way, shape, or form. And it's nothing against you, it's just their own stuff that they're dealing with. It's their own stuff that they're dealing with. And um, fear will cause people to do a lot of crazy things that they would not normally do. Okay, well then it must be some sort of fear in some other way, man, because, or maybe she hasn't healed from something that, yeah, but does that mean that they have a lot of money though? It doesn't mean anything. People can put things on credit cards. I mean, just because they're doing that, I know people that I'm surrounded. I know people that by the looks of things, you would think that they're doing really well, and then they're not. And they go away all the time. The grass is not always greener, man. You never know somebody's situation. Yeah, but still, you don't know. Like I said, man, you never know. You may think you know the situations, but see, that's the thing that you have to. That's where you have to find compassion. These are the ways you find compassion through. You don't know what's inside their head. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what, like, there's a lot of changes happening on this planet right now, and a lot of people are having to purge things. A lot of people are unaware of what is going on and the transformations that we're having and the ascension process that we're going through. Okay? And people are having to face their shit. Let me just be real. Let me say it real. They're having to face their shit. They're having to look at themselves in the mirror. Well, forget about the money, man. It's something else, and it doesn't matter if you know or you don't know, man. You have to find you have to put all of that aside and say, you know what? Every single person is going through something right now. They are, whether you believe it or not. Whether it's money, whether it's not money, whether it's fear of this or fear of that. People that have a lot of money still are in fear of losing it all. And I can tell you right now, I know people personally that have money and they're still in fear, a lot of fear. And fear is being brought up to the surface so that you can look at it and you can face it, and a lot of people are not dealing with it and are being forced to deal with it. Okay? So having compassion for people right now, and for the courage that they have to choose to be here right now at this time, because this is not an easy time to be on the planet. And if you're still here, you're courageous. And I want people to understand that and know that. It is no joke to be here right now on this planet. We are going through massive changes. Massive, whether you know it or not. Whether you believe it or not. I mean, like I said, you know, I think what you got to do is find it in your heart to love her for where she's at and communicate that with her. This is forcing you out of your comfort zone, man. And this is forcing you to actually communicate and have an actual face-to-face discussion of how you're feeling and put it on the table in a nice, kind way, but make sure that you ask God to be with you and that you ask God to lead you, and to help you with this situation and to express how you feel. Because here's the thing, man, if you're telling me this, why aren't you communicating that with her and being like, but doing it in a kind way, not in a way with anger and hate in it, because people can sense an energy, and we're becoming more of an energy and more of a frequency and vibration, and energy is felt. And you've got to go into it with compassion. You've got to go into it with everyone is going through shit right now. Everyone, man. There is not one person on this planet that is excluded from what we are all going through. Everyone. Whether you believe it or not, whether you think that money changes it all, whether you think that they're doing fantastic because they have a lot of money, they look like they're doing fantastic. A lot of people hide laughter and smiling through like their pain. A lot of people act a certain way, but deep down inside, when they go in their house and they shut the door and it's dark out, trust and believe they're going through it and you don't even know it. They could be crying in their house for all you know. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know people's situations, whether they have a ton of money or not, whether they look like they have it all together or they're not. People are crying behind closed doors because of the energies and the changes that we're all going through, man. It is a really challenging time to be alive right now. Again, that's why I can find it in my heart to have compassion for all the trolls that come through here. And they call me names and they tell me I look like this and you look like a PETA, and all this different stuff. I have compassion for them, man. Because I know that you would not act the way you are unless you're suffering in some way, shape, or form. So they could be suffering in some way, shape, or form that you don't know about, that they don't talk to you about, just like they don't know how you're feeling and that you're speaking to me about it on here. Okay? So you don't know what anybody is going through in their mind. They could have gunfire going off in their mind. You don't know why somebody ignores you, why they do this. There is a lot that we have to deal with on this planet that is challenging. And I give everyone some sort of grace because we're all trying to figure it out and make sense of it and understand it and hopefully one day all come together as one and unite with love, No, I'm not saying that, man. I'm not saying that. You've got to hold boundaries too. But you've got to find a way to do it in a kind way, and actually speak your truth and not suppress it and talk with them. Sit down with them and talk to them if you want to. If you don't want to, speak to them telepathically. Speak to them telepathically. You can send somebody love. You can have a conversation with them telepathically. You don't have to do it face to face. You can ask God to intervene. You can ask your guides and angels to intervene, that you need help with this. Don't think you have to do it all alone, man. Have compassion for them suffering. That will help you to come from a compassionate place when you speak with them, when you have a conversation. But don't suppress it and hide it, how you feel, man. Open up your heart and lead from your heart, man. Your heart will always guide you. Don't do it from a thinking mind. Don't do it from here. Do it from here. Let your heart lead you. And I promise it'll all work out perfectly. But when you try to analytically figure it out logically and, they have a lot of money, they have this, that, blah, blah, blah. that I should do this because they're suffering. Like, that's not compassion. That's not having empathy, man. I hope that helps, man. You could send me an email, man, if you like, at darenandluna@gmail.com. I'll do the best to help you any way I can, man. And bring your question again on another live stream or something if you have any more questions, or if I wasn't able to help you. If you don't like anything, leave what doesn't, man. That's all I got to say. If anything that I said resonated with you, which I hope it did, then please take it. If not, leave whatever doesn't. If all of it doesn't resonate, leave all of it, But listen, man, the reason things get so effed up is because people have lost the way to communicate. And to have I did it personally myself with a family member. I can't deny that. And it deeply messed up the relationship. And it wasn't only my part. It was on both of our ends. And I understand, and I understand that it happened for a reason. It happened for my highest and greatest good, to lead me on the path I'm on now. And yes, it was so effing hard. And I wouldn't wish it on anybody what I went through. But I can tell you right now that it led me on the path I'm on now. It led me on a path to set boundaries. It led me on a path to teach you all even more. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for him and him choosing to do this, because here's the thing, man. Know this person that you're having controversy with chose to play this role for you to grow, you to expand, for you to evolve, for you to wake up. And that's exactly what it's doing. Because if this didn't happen, you would probably be complacent and comfortable. But this is forcing you to come out of your comfort zone. It's forcing you to come out of that puppet mentality where they've controlled us, and like, you're coming out of it and you're being like, you're starting to question everything. You're not just like, but if everything was just like, yeah, sure, no, okay, never mind, I'm not going to charge you for that. Okay. Because they don't want to trigger you, because, all of this is a movie, man. And she's playing this role because she chose to play this role before she came here with you. It goes really deep, man, and I can't go deeper with this right now. But I have tons of live streams on here you can go back and watch. And there's light language activations that can help you open your heart. Go back on our channel, man. Subscribe to the channel. Watch some of the videos. Watch some of the activations. We're on all social media platforms at Daren and Luna, man. I love you all, man, from the bottom of my heart. I've got to head out of here. Take care of yourself and find love in your heart, man. Open your heart for everyone, man, no matter what. There's a rhyme and a reason for everything, man. And this is happening for you and by you. And I want you to know that it's happening for you for a reason, to prepare you for what's next, for the next phase and level that you're headed in, for what we're all headed for, and as the collective. So don't take it to heart, man. Know that it's happening for you and by you, and there's a reason for it. Okay? I love you all, man, from the bottom of my heart. Take care of yourselves and each other. Hit the like button. Send us a super chat if you feel called to donate. We would greatly appreciate it so we can keep doing what we're doing, man. I love you all from the bottom of my heart, man. Keep spreading love and kindness and laughter and compassion and empathy for everyone, man. I'll see you on the next live stream, on the next video, or somewhere around the world. Until then, let's go!